Hello everybody and welcome back. In this video we'll just extend upon what we were doing in the last video, which was to add the remaining UI elements to our form field. So in the previous video we had left off our form field in a state where we had a text field inside of it which is ready to now take input, but we didn't have a button to actually send the message as well as button to send an image message. So we'll add them in this video. So to get started, I'll create a new function and I'll call this _send message button. Then what I'll do is that I'll open up the parentheses and I'll say that this function is going to define a variable inside of it called size, and that will be the device's height times 0.04. With this done, the next thing that I'm going to do is that I'll say that this function is going to return a container. This container is going to have a height and a width. So the height is going to be size and the width is going to be _size as well. Then I'm going to define the child for my container, which is going to be a icon button. So an icon button is just a button which allows us to have an icon as the thing that represents it, and then a on pressed action that is called every time the button is pressed. So I'll do the icon first and I'll call it that it'll be icon, and it's going to be icons.send. And with this I'll also define the color and I'll say that it's going to be colors.white. With this I am going to now add a comma, and I'm going to say that I'm going to have the onPressed attribute. I'll add the parentheses and the curly brackets for it, and then do Alt-Shift-F to reformat the code, add a comma here as well, and do Command save, making sure that I do not get any errors. So my actual application is not currently debugging, so I'll turn out debugging as well, and we'll continue to develop the application in the meantime. So in the onPressed function, I'm going to leave it empty for now, and what I'll do is I'll take my send message button and I'll come up to where we have our message text field, and I'll add this after the message text field widget, and I'll add a comma 2 and do Alt-Shift-F Command save. And I'll make sure that now it doesn't interfere with the actual application launching. So now that we've defined the function for rendering our send message button, the next function is going to be for our image message button. So similar to what we've been doing before, I'll create another widget function, so it'll return a widget, and I'll call this image message button. Then what I'll do is that I'll open up the parentheses and then I'll open up the curly brackets, and similar to what we did before, I'll define a variable called _size, and I'll set that equal to our device's height, and then I'll multiply that with 0.04. With this done, I'm going to then move onwards and I'll say that I'm going to return a container for this function as well. And then the container is going to have some values. So what are those going to be? Well, we'll have a height, which will be the _size, and we'll have a width, which will also be, and I do not know why I didn't do that, so I'll do height _size, and then we'll have width, which will be _size as well. With this, I'll also have a child, which is going to be a floating action button, and it's going to have some properties to it. Firstly is going to be a background color. So what is the color for our floating action button's background going to be? So that's going to be from, and then red, green, blue, and opacity, and then it'll be 0, 82, 218, and then 1.0. And then add a comma here too and do Alt-Shift-F. And also I think I forgot to add some other properties for the floating action button, and one of them is going to be the onPressed function call, and I'll add just an empty function for now. And then apart from the onPressed function call, we'll also have to define a child for the actual floating action button, and the child is just going to be the thing that's going to be inside of the floating action button. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to show an icon inside of it, and I'll call that icons.camera_, and then I'll say enhance, and then add a comma here and do Alt-Shift-F, Command save. With this, I'm going to make sure that I do not get any errors in my file, which I'm not, and I'm going to take my image message button and I'm going to go to the top, and after my send message button function call, I'll add the image message button function call, add the parentheses, add the comma, and do Command save. With this, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to make sure that the application now loads up so we can actually see our changes. And once the application is actually loaded up, then I'll resume the video. Okay, welcome back everybody. Now that our application is actually running, I'm going to go to one of the chats page, and we're going to see that we can actually now see our actual buttons being shown. I'm going to do command save now, and once I do that, I'm going to see that my actual image message button is being shown as well. So with that done, we've actually successfully added all of the UI elements that we needed to add to our chat page. And now the rest of this section is going to be us actually linking up the business logic with the chat page so that we can actually start seeing some messages being sent as well as show up in our chat. So with that said, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video where we'll begin actually linking up some of the business logic with the UI. So thanks again, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.